Hello, this is Alex from musicsequencing.com, and today I'm going to show you how I use all these knobs and faders and buttons to control Logic for me. So the way I'm going to do this is by just starting to make some music and then kind of explain how it works as I go along. So I've got a button here to create a new track. Then, open up the library, and let's start out with some drums and my user patches right here. Cool. And then I'll push this button because it is a track stack. Here I've got vertical zoom and I've got horizontal zoom on this one. And then I can scrub around on here, which is really fun to do. And then this is kind of to move one measure at a time. So I'm going to turn up the kick a little and the snare a little too, so I can navigate tracks with that button. Maybe the hi-hat too. Had them turned down. All right, cool. So this plays. Turn on the metronome. It's a little fast. Let's go like 100 or so. Cool. So should do it. And this button here is capture record. So in Logic specifically, it is always recording your MIDI as you're going. And if you press capture record in Logic, it's this button too. And I have it set up to this button. So a lot of times I'll just be playing MIDI and then I like that. And then push that button and now I got it. And then when I want to edit it, push this button here and that's the piano roll. Let me make it bigger. And I can zoom in and out of there. Hear it back. Don't need that crap in the beginning, so I'll select all that. Delete it. And let's quantize this region. There we go. And we'll just loop these 4 bars. Oops. Gotta select them, which I don't have a key for. Okay, cool. Let's do another track. And let's see. How about some bass? Kind of sounds like the Keenan and Kel theme song. I'll just do that. All right. Cool. And now I got that in there. And let's do another track. So this is the duplicate track button. And I will do, how about the Howler Smart? So now I also have these 8 faders set up to Logic's smart controllers. So if I move this first fader, you'll see up here that I'm getting in control change 11, which is really good for controlling like orchestral instruments. It's a really common MIDI control change, so I got it on there. And then these ones, if I move them, oh, we're on the wrong channel, sorry. If I move them, you'll see nothing come in, and that's because they're hardwired to the smart controls, which I have already set up to this synthesizer, which is in the Bosco Mac video. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. So I'm just going to double this. And I'll just copy it down actually real quick. And then I'll show you. So one thing that I really like to do here is add in some automation. So if you're using the smart controls, you need to use automation. It doesn't record the MIDI. So I set it up how I want it originally. Okay, that's kind of cool actually. So I'm just going to make sure these are in how I want them. And then just play with this one. So I've got this button here, puts it in latch mode. And we can quickly... Cool. So I got my automation, and then I take it out of latch mode, and it is in there. And I don't know if I showed this before. This one does the volume. So if I want to turn it down, and I can automate that. Here I've got pan going left and right. And this is all custom. I set it up myself to kind of fit my workflow. I'm not sure if that was said either. And then on these two, I have sends. So if I made a reverb, let's just say, let's go to a track effect. I already have a reverb on there. All right. I can turn up the reverb. Which might be a bit much, but it's a lot more fun, at least for me, to be able to use an actual knob to control these things. And in a different video or an article on musicsequencing.com, I'll tell you exactly how you can do this. On this keyboard, I have it programmed, so it's all custom programmed basically. So this is like button is, if you look up here, you'll see it's 118. So whatever is on the keyboard kind of matches what the MIDI control change is. And I have if you don't know what MIDI control changes are, I have an article on that, on what is MIDI. You can check it out on Music Sequencing. And then this is like, oh, let's do a different channel. So this is 102, you'll see up here. And the reason it's 102 is because 102 is an open control change in MIDI. So it's kind of not really generally used for anything. So I basically have everything here programmed to control changes that aren't really used for anything. So it won't mess with any, presets in any software instruments or anything, if that makes sense. But let's get back to putting on a bit more music. So I'll hide the, I'm on the wrong channel here. So I'll explain that too. So here I'm going between presets, and this is part of the M Audio Oxygen 49. There are 10 presets you can have on here. And basically what I've done is on preset 1, everything is on MIDI channel 1. So if you look up here, you see this 1. It means it's on MIDI channel 1. Here, it's on MIDI channel 2. And I have it set up to do, let me show you. I drew these sweet pictures. So this is my channel 1 basically set up. And you see here it has control change 11 here, the smart controllers, track pan. You can check it out. And then on preset 10, which is one click this way, backwards, I have my creating tracks / markers, and then still have scrubbing and stuff over here. This is low latency mode. So this is more for recording audio. And then the next preset 2, I don't use that much. It's for editing MIDI. I will click and stuff for editing MIDI, but if I want to move everything up, down, a semitone or whatever, I never really remember it, so I don't really use it. But these ones I have, they're in my head, so I just use them. They're just second nature. So close the automation, zoom out. Now that I've kind of explained everything, let's add one more track. So I go to preset 10, which is actually, it's MIDI channel 11. And the reason for this, hopefully I'm not confusing you too much, is these pads up here are all on MIDI channel 10. So no matter what preset I'm on, these are always the same. So I didn't want to have any conflicting, this is always, see, it's C1 on channel 10. You can see up there. So I have this preset is actually on channel 11. So on channel 11, this duplicates a track. This creates an audio track. This creates a software instrument track. This will open up my library here. And this, if I want to color code it, will open up the color coding. So I will go back to the user patches. Let's put on arcade, which will probably add a lot of stuff. And arcade is also, I have set up with smart controls, but I got to go to the right channel. Let's find something more to fit the song. I like this one. Alright, that's cool. Those two are cool. So I'll just put those in real quick, and then we'll call it a video. Alright, and that's way out of time, so let me put this back on the grid. And that should be a little bit of music here. Last thing I should say is up here, what these are is I can go between tracks here. This is an redo, undo, and redo, which you can't really see. So undo, undo, redo, redo. And then this is my click. Here is a mute button, and here's a delete button. Undo that. And this toggles my track stacks if I've got a bunch of stuff. So that's what I have all of these doing. I hope that is helpful for people. I found that since I programmed this, I did it a few months ago, 5 or 6 months ago. It's a lot more fun making music and like automation instead of having to toggle, wherever the automation menu is. I just, push a button and move some knobs. It's so much better for my workflow, and I will come out with more info on how to do it if you want to do it yourself. Thanks for watching. Come by musicsequencing.com if you want to learn more stuff. Got a lot more stuff in the articles. And lastly, I am giving one-on-one lessons in music production over the internet on mixing. We can go through your mixes, analyzing stuff, finishing tracks, the creative process, lyric writing. I work a lot in film scoring, so we could talk about that if you want. Have a great day. Peace.